YouTube, what's going on, guys? It's Clutch Kid. I'm back trying to bring you some Madden 21 tips. Now, are you guys tired of losing to your cousin in Madden? Are you tired of losing to your little brother in franchise mode? I'm going to take care of that for you guys. Alright, I got some tips here. I got 10 tips for beginners. So if you are losing to your little brother, no worries. We're going to help you out. We're going to take care of that. Let's get into the top 10. Alright, starting off at number 10 for our top 10 beginner tips is going to be thresholds. So the rating thresholds for All Pro is at 90. So if you are in Connected Franchise, look for, or even if you're in Madden Ultimate Team, because that is on All Pro, you're going to be looking for people that have ratings of 90 or higher. So deep route running, medium route running, short route running, those are the key ones that a lot of people look at. You want to make sure that those are 90 or higher, and then you'll get better separation. But it also goes for juke moves, catching, throw power. You're going to get better animations if you have your rating at 90 or higher, so make sure you have that. On all Madden, the threshold is much lower. It's more geared towards skill, so don't worry about that. This is a beginner's video, so I don't expect you guys to be playing at all Madden. If you are, stay tuned for a later video. Let's get to the next tip. At number 9, we got a very simple tip, something that's quick you can do. Not a lot of people do it though. A lot of people forget about it, and that's you want to be kicking off. Alright, so you're going to go into your advanced settings. You're going to be going to coin toss, and you want to make sure that it is on kick. Now I believe the default is on receive for your first choice. You want to change that to kick. You want to be receiving the ball and to start the second half. Okay, so say if you're behind, you're losing, you don't get off to a good start, at least you know you're getting the ball back in the second half to try and make a comeback. But say if you're losing, then you got to kick off again, and they're getting the ball, they can double up on you. You don't want to get doubled up on. You want to be the one that's double up on people. And double up, I mean score at the end, have the last score of the first half, and the first score of the second half. So you get almost a free possession. Not really, but you understand what I'm saying. So the number 9 tip, make sure you're kicking off. Not a lot of people do it. It's very key. It helps you win games. Bill Belichick does it all the time. Only time he doesn't do it is against the Chiefs, because he wants to make sure he gets out to a head start and he doesn't want to fall behind right away. But in my opinion, it's always best to kick off, even against the Chiefs, because if you fall behind anyways early, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They're going to score again. You want to make sure you're at least giving yourself a chance to start the second half. Number 8. Alright guys, number 8 is going to be learning low ball pass. There's also high ball you can do, but low ball is really what you're going to want to be working on. And we're just going to come out. We're going to come out and spread, and we're just going to do a couple. We're just going to do a couple different plays to show you what low ball works well in and why you want to use low ball. Now to low ball pass, you're going to want to hit left trigger while you're holding the pass icon. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass it to Judy. So we low balled it in there, he caught it, he went down to catch it. So look what happens when we don't low ball it. So he still caught it there. But as you can see, there is a chance he could get the ball knocked out of his hands. Right there, he could easily have dropped that. We've seen plenty of animations like that where they drop the ball. When you do this, low ball pass, they're not going to drop it. They're going to catch it low, they're going to fall low, they're not going to drop the ball. So there you go right there. So say you try and hit X there without low balling it. Did he catch that? He did. Wow, that's crazy. There you go. So he dropped it there. That was not a low ball pass. We're going to go ahead and low ball it again. As you can see, he caught it that time. That was a little bit more dangerous. dangerous, but he caught it. You want to low ball it, throw it low. And then the other one you want to do to low ball is curl routes and hitches. You want to low ball those. So let me go ahead and show you why you want to low ball those. Let's go ahead and go curl strong. And we're going to go ahead and so you want to go ahead and low ball these passes. But trust me, you want to go ahead and low ball these bad boys. It's much safer to catch if you don't low ball it. It's a high chance of getting intercepted. These guys. And as you can see at the bottom, it says low ball pass accurate, low ball pass inaccurate. I don't know why we got Ripken in here. And why Drew Locke's not in there. I'll show you what happens when you don't low ball it on these guys. Incomplete pass. It gives the defender a chance to knock the ball out. But when you low ball it, you have a much higher chance of catching the ball. So 3rd and short. Oh, it was intercepted that time. See, when you low ball it to him, it was incomplete, but he never actually intercepted it. And we actually caught it that time. So that's tip number 8. Well, not tip number 8, but tip 8 is make sure you low ball it for these curl routes and slants and everything. Low ball it, make sure you get a catch. If you're doing a post across the middle, you want to low ball it, then you'll get that diving catch animation. And let's see if I can motion this guy across. I don't think I can. No, I can't. But that's how you do it. Low ball it, hold left trigger, learn it. You can go into the skills mode and it has a whole tutorial on how to do it. So, next tip. Number 7 for our top 10 beginner tips. Number 7 is going to be quick adjustments. So right now we are coming out and we have a cover 2 look. So say we want to give this a cover 3 look, but we still want to be in this formation. And we don't want to be moving around to all these guys. We're going to be doing the quick adjustments. And with the quick adjustments, you can adjust any player on the field to do almost anything you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Y for our DBs, and then you're going to hit Y again for quick adjustments, and then say we're going to put X and an outside third. And then right now we're going to do it again, and we're going to put LB and an inside third. And then now look at our coverage. If I can look it up. There we go. Now look at our coverage. So we have a cover 3 shell, still out of this cover 2 look, and then the only thing that's going to be open is on the left side of the ball. So say we want to take care of that as well. We can do the quick adjustments, Y twice, put Y for Callahan. So we want to put him in the curl flat, so the left stick to the right, and there we go. So now we got almost everything on the field covered besides the bottom left and the upper right, and we have this blitzing guy right here. And we can go ahead and say we want to put this other mid-zone read, or say we want to put our guy we're using right now. So I'll get off of him, and our linebacker right there, so we want to put him in a flat. We can hit right on the D-pad, and then right again for quick adjustments, hit A for Jewel, and then we're going to go ahead and put him in a hard flat. And then there you go, you have all that. And then you can just use this guy over here, and then you have the complete left side shut down, and then all you have to worry about is this little area over here. So let's go ahead and run this play, see how it looks. And so they had nothing but that short drag underneath, and people are not going to get that right away. And if they do, then you can just you can go ahead and have like a QB spy there or something if you want to play max coverage on it. And then for defensive linemen, so you do want to put a spy, you hit left on the D-pad, and then left again for quick adjustments, and then you go ahead and hit Y. A lot of people put their D-tackles in the spy, and then you can go ahead and do that. So once you get good with it and learn everything, you can do it pretty fast. So what do we have now? This guy. So that's what it looks like now. That's what it looked like before. And this is a really good defense to take away anything your opponent has. So we'll go ahead and run it again. And as you can see, he had nothing but the little check down there to the running back. Everything else was boxed on the field. So make sure you learn all these things. Once again, quick recap is why. Well, there you go. That guy. It's whatever position group you're going to do, you're going to hit that button twice. So for DBs, you're going to hit Y twice. And then you got all the DBs you can do anything with. And then for linebackers, you're going to hit the right stick twice. And then for your defensive line, you're going to hit the left stick twice. And then whatever icon you want to use, and then put them wherever you want to be. So that will stop you from trying to get on your lineman, put him on a spy, and then they hike it, and then you're stuck on your defensive line. Coming in at number 6 is how to improve your run game. So what we're working on right now is we're going to be working on not sprinting, hitting the sprint button as soon as we get the ball in the backfield, because that's going to allow the defense to get off their blocks and get to us faster. And if you don't hold sprint, it'll also allow your blockers to go up to the next level and block for you. You don't want to outrun your blockers either. So I'm just going to show you this right here. So we're going to go ahead and turn to the big screen to watch. It's a little bit easier. We're going to go ahead and we're not going to hold sprint until we hit the hole. And then you see I did hit sprint a little bit too early. So don't hold sprint. And then you hit the hole, you hit sprint. I'm going to show you what happens when you do hold sprint right off the bat. And we'll go ahead and run it to the weak side. So you can see how that guy came off his block where he wouldn't have before. Let's go ahead into the instant replay. Now look at this guy. He should be blocked. He should be taken care of. But since we're holding sprint, he comes right off of it and gets us in the backfield. Now say we don't hold sprint this whole time, we can easily cut it up right here and follow this guy, because these guys are already over pursuing, and then all we got to do is we're going to have to juke out this guy and then maybe outrun this guy to the corner. But instead, we hold sprint, we try and get to the outside, and say we're not holding sprint here, these two guys can possibly get picked up by our blocker here, and then our blocker here can go ahead and grab this guy, and then we'll just have to juke out that guy. But since we are holding sprint, he's going to get off the block and get to us. So there you have it. Tip 6, make sure you don't hold run. Work on it. It's going to be a little bit hard. As you can see, once you hit the hole, go ahead and hold sprint. And that is going to bring us right into our next tip. This is a kind of a game plan tip, and that's when you're starting a game, when you're playing against a friend, when you're playing against your little brother, when you're playing against someone online. Doesn't matter. Whenever you're playing against someone, test the run defense out, man. It's not Madden 20. The run game isn't completely overpowered, but it's still really good. So if your opponent doesn't have a run D, you're gonna win the game. If I don't have a run D for my opponent, they win the game 9 out of 10 times. You gotta make sure you're able to stop the run. Make sure they can stop your run game as well. So that's the tip here. Make sure you're not passing all the time. Run the ball. Make sure they can stop it. It's going to frustrate them. It's going to make them make bad decisions. It's going to bring the game down, make it closer. If you are not very good at the game, make sure you run the ball. It's going to shorten the game. It's going to make it so they don't have as many possessions. That's what people do against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. If they're trying to beat them, if they're able to, they run the ball. Keep the ball possession in their control. Let's get to the number 4 tip, guys, and that is sending the spy. Or it's going to be sending the closest person to the quarterback, and what it's usually going to be is the spy. So we're going to be talking about how to stop your opponent from rolling out and dotting you up. All right, so you're rolling over here, getting away. We're going to show you guys how to stop that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this defense. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and spy everyone. Well, actually, we're just going to spy Bosa. And so what we're going to do, a lot of times you can roll out over here. Let's see how your spy follows him, doesn't ever go after him though. Until you get to a point where he commits. I'm going to show you how to send him so he can't just stay there forever. Alright, so what you are going to want to do on defense, so say you're covering someone over here and your spy is just sitting there, all you want to do is you want to click in on the right stick. You click on it on the right stick, and that's going to send your spy going to the quarterback. So I'm going to show you guys right now. So we're Murray, we're going to roll out over here, and then we click this button, and in comes the spy. Takes him down. And a tip to do this a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more effectively, is that we're going to go ahead and send the spy as soon as the quarterback rolls out of the tackle box. All right. So as soon as he rolls out, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do with 2 controllers. As soon as he passes the tackle, we're sending the spy. We're not going to wait till he gets to the sideline. As soon as he passes the tackle, send the spy. Give him as least amount of time as possible to make that throw. And number 3, we have a very underutilized tip for beginners, and that is coaching adjustments, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So you want to go into coaching adjustments, and they have all these settings you can do to help make your players on defense play better and play how you want them to. So you have your alignment, you have your ball in there, how you want your defense to play the ball, you got your cornerback matchups, you got your option defense if you want them to play the quarterback, you got your strip ball, your tackling, and then the most important one is these zone drops over here. You can set your zone drops from 0 all the way to 30 yards deep to take away passes, alright? Now, it's up to you guys to play around with them to see what you like the most. If you guys want, I can make a separate little video to show you exactly what I like to use for coaching adjustments and why I do them. But you guys can do it how you want. On offense, it's the same thing. They don't have as many. Ball carrier is usually the more popular one that people actually mess with. But that's it. Make sure you go in your coaching adjustments. Make sure you use them, look at them. A lot of the professionals, they will mess with them about every other play to kind of adjust their opponent. So make sure you do that and see what works best for you. Hey guys, I'm over on this side now for tip number 2. Alright, the number 2 tip for beginners that you guys want to know is shading. So shading you can do with man or zone. You can shade underneath, which is you hit Y or triangle depending on your controller, and that brings up your DB adjustments, and then you can hit right stick down to go shade underneath. As you can see, it turned my purples into light blues into hard flats. And you can also hit Y and shade over the top, which now those are now, if I can bring them up, they are now cloud flats. You can also do shade inside, and you can shade outside. And you can do this with man or zone. So see, I'm in man. You can go ahead and shade inside. You can see the DBs move. You can shade outside, shade down, shade over the top. Just mess with them. See what you like to do with them. Once again, if you guys want a more in-depth tutorial about shading, go ahead and leave a comment and I'll go ahead and make one up for you guys. And that brings us to the number one tip for you beginners playing Madden 21. And that is your user. You want to make sure you are using a safety or linebacker. A lot of beginners like to use the defensive line. If you want to, if that's how you have fun playing the game, go ahead and do that. But if you're looking to get better, you want to make sure you are playing a linebacker or a safety. Alright? And yes, this year, linebackers have been extremely nerfed into the ground in Madden. And so, say you like user and linebacker, and so this nickel formation, this nickel normal formation, say you like using linebacker, you'll notice that you can get passes thrown right at your head. Your linebacker's not going to animate even though you think he should intercept it. Your linebacker moves slow. He moves like a slug, so it's like you can only cover one person. You can't cover multiple routes like you're used to. I'm going to show you guys how to change that. How to make Madden 21 the linebackers play a little bit more like the rest of the Maddens in the past. And if you're in a connected franchise, this might be against your rules if you're in a big league. But if you're playing head-to-head, if you're playing a franchise that doesn't have these rules, if you're playing MUT, that's what everybody's doing. And that is not using your linebackers. Alright, it's as simple as that. You're going to be using safeties at linebackers. Alright, so we're going to take out Nick Vigil. We're going to go ahead and put in Derwin James. And we're going to sub out Kenneth Murray Jr. And we're going to go ahead and put in Jaleel Adai. And you're going to notice that these guys are going to move around much better. You're going to be getting interceptions with these guys on pass defense. If they throw it at your head, they are going to animate, they're going to catch it, even though they're playing in the linebacker spot. And just because you're going to have, 6 DBs on the field, it does not mean you're going to get weak box, because the game still registers them as linebackers, okay? And I'll talk about weak boxing in another video. But that is how you're going to have your linebackers play a lot better and a lot smoother on defense. So we're going to go ahead and do one little pass play and show you guys how smooth it is with these guys. So you can go ahead and cover multiple routes. They had nothing open. And then I'll show you how much slower it is with the linebacker, how harder it is to cover. So we're going to go back in, we're going to go ahead and sub out a die, we're going to put in Kenneth Murray. Now let's go ahead and call the same play. Now we're on Kenneth Murray. Alright. Much harder to move, much harder to cover ground. I wish I had the other controller plugged in so you could see me throw it right at this guy's head and have not animate to jump, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Alright, if you're playing a linebacker, as you probably know by playing this game, they're not going to animate, they'll throw it right at your head and your guy won't do anything. But put a safety in that spot. If you're in connected franchise draft, make sure you got safeties. Make sure you have at least 4 good safeties on your team. That way you can put them at your linebacker spot if needed. Alright, and if you're in MUT, make sure you get more safeties. A lot of people are doing that. You'll notice that. And those are the top 10 tips I have for you guys as beginners. I'll have a more advanced tips video coming up soon. If you guys liked this kind of stuff, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, please comment, and subscribe if you're new, if you haven't subscribed already. I appreciate that. It helps me out a lot. You guys have a great day. I hope to see you all in the future.